Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for another episode of Transfer Talk. And we got quite a lot to get into, got quite a lot of interesting ones. Big up to Liam. Mustafa says Ollie out. I'm not sure why you're Ollie out. At least give him a season. He may win you something. You never know. Big up to Sav. Big up Nal. And to the panel and everyone in the chat. And he says Varane. Can he just chucking in Varane? Let me make sure that my audio is perfect because it likes to change. That is all good. So let's get straight into it because we're talking quite a bit. Let me change the thing. There we go. So we got quite a lot to talk about. We're talking about Hudson Odoi being swapped for Kingsley Coman. So could Odoi finally be ending up at Bayern Munich after quite some time since? When was it? Was it 2017, 2018 that he was linked to go to Bayern Munich? It never really materialized. Chelsea were asking for like 50 odd million. Well, he could finally be making his way to them. We're also talking Saul Niguez. Manchester United are in advanced talks for Saul Niguez, regardless about that swap deal that Barcelona think they've got at the moment. Might United still Niguez off them? You never know. We're also talking Harry Kane. Chelsea have made a better offer for Harry Kane than Manchester City. This one, Levy might accept. Levy might accept this one. Don't quote me, but he might accept it. Raphael Varane. Manchester United are about to make an official bid for Raphael Varane. And Arsenal have signed Lokonga. We've spoken about it a fair few times, but it's a done deal. Arsenal have signed him. The announcement has either happened or is about to happen. That much I can tell you. But let's go to some of your comments quickly. Once was 2019 now, when it was Sarri. Yes, 2019. I was close enough. Odoi out. They have Pulisic. That's all you really need. Is it? I mean, surely Hudson Odoi is not a bad player either. He's really not a bad player. Dylan says, I've got rid of my knighthood due to legal reasons. What legal reasons could... Don't answer. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what legal reasons there are, but let's get straight into it. Let's talk about Callum Hudson-Odoi then. This is according to L'Equipe. Chelsea are looking into the feasibility of a swap deal with Bayern Munich involving Kingsley Coman and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now, Bayern were apparently looking at what? I think it was 90 million for Kingsley Coman. That was the quoted figure. Now they've always wanted Hudson Odoi. They wanted Hudson Odoi since he was a kid. Will it happen? I have absolutely no idea. Swapping Cho for an injury play Coman. This story has no substance. Well, I know. it's one that, with the way Chelsea are acting at the moment, it would not surprise me. I don't know if Chelsea have just hired Ed Woodward, because your movement in the transfer window is worse than Plymouth Argyle's. I don't know if this is true. I don't know how. If this does happen, Chelsea fans are going to lose their shit. If this is true and this does happen, Chelsea fans are going to literally lose their shit. And rightly so, because as DJ says, Coman is an injury-plagued player. Callum Hudson-Odoi, with the right amount of game time, may actually, do a bit of business. Tuchel didn't use him a lot last season. Now, to be honest, he doesn't really fit Tuchel's 3-4-3 system, or whatever fucking system he uses, because Hudson-Odoi is more of a winger. Not really that sort of inside forward. He wants to get down the wing. He wants to put in a cross. Sometimes he'll cut in, but he's more of an out-and-out winger. And he doesn't really... And Tuchel don't play with that. He plays with wing-backs. Now, at the start of Tuchel's reign, Hudson-Odoi came in and started playing wing-back, didn't he? And everyone was like, well, Tuchel does normally do this. He has one mad idea and he does it. Everyone was talking about Mount being moved to an 8 or something. That was going to be the big thing that he did, or Reece James as a centre back. But it looked like it was actually going to be Hudson-Odoi to right wing back, but he didn't really use him. That's the main issue for me, is he didn't really use him, and Cho didn't get enough game time. Now, Cho is a really good player. I really, really do think he's a good player, because look at what he can do. I mean, for England under 21s, he didn't really get a fair crack of the whip, because to be brutal, Greenwood should have been in there. If he weren't injured, Greenwood should have been in there. I think link up with Cho and Greenwood would have been insane. I don't think Cho's been used by any of the managers. Lampard was a disgrace. Lampard is a disgrace. He is a disgraced football manager. He should never get a top job ever again unless he proves himself, because how he treated Hudson-Odoi was pathetic at best. Sarri used him a bit. Tuchel has used him occasionally, but not much. And I just feel with Callum Hudson-Odoi, if he gets a run of good games, my lord, he's going to jump right up there. He's going to be such a talent. He is such a talent. And Hudson-Odoi is one that I really do rate. And I don't feel he's been given a fair enough crack of the whip. I really don't. I think he should and could have been used more. Some will say, well, has he done enough in training? Look, for me, Hudson-Odoi, the talent that this lad has, he should be more than good enough to get a starting, well, maybe not starting, but play a lot more games than he did last season. I suppose Tuchel's just got to fit him in, or find a way of fitting him in. And if he can't, just sell him. Just do the right thing for the player, because if he ain't going to get in under Tuchel, can Hudson-Odoi? He's waited around with Sarri. He's waited around with Lampard. Can he feasibly wait around for another manager to maybe get a chance? No, he cannot. For me, make or break, he needs to go. He needs to go, because I think there's a really good player there. I just don't think he's getting unleashed yet. We'll have to wait with this one. We'll really have to wait and see. But yeah, I think his treatment has been a bit weird. Value Coman, Bayern value Coman at 90 mil. Someone should steal Gio Reyna off Dortmund. He's going to be a star there, though, so I don't know if I want him to leave yet. Maybe. He's good on footy manager as well. Doubt Saul will join us. However, Fabrizio Romano confirmed he is a player United and monitored, as well as other Premier League clubs. This is true. I read that first. Doubt confirmed he is a player. Cho to Dortmund, says Mustafa. Yeah. It all depends on if he's in Tuchel plans. Yeah, well, obviously. But he's such a talent. He needs to be used more. Dylan, big Club bro, love the banter. Remember, we are champion. Well, you're technically not, because that's Italy now, and we're into a new season. So that's I have this thing of, nah, you're not champions anymore. That's last season. We're done with last season. I'm done with last season, and we had a shit season. So I'm done. We move on. You are no longer champions of Europe. That can be Italy. And yeah, we move, but no one's champion of Europe. New season, no trophies are done. Big up to RJ. Dylan says Chelsea biggest in London. Yeah, well, can Arsenal really come back at them? They won an FA Cup, but let's talk Saul Niguez. Currently, we are champions until new champions are elected. Nah. That was last season. Don't happen. If you want me to elect champions, I elect Argyle. Argyle are champions of Europe. That is how we'll say. You have leapfrogged Liverpool in a race to sign Saul Niguez, whilst negotiations continue to stall between Barca and Atleti for Griezmann Saul swap. Jonathan Barnett, Saul's agent, is in advanced talks with United over a transfer. His agent said, nothing has been decided. Saul has many options to stay as to leave. Saul will do what with his future what is best for Saul. Now, is he a DM? No, not really. Could he do a better job than Fred and McTominay? Absolutely. That's always the questions you've got to ask. Are Fred and McTominay? Yes. Can they do a job? Yes. Well, sign them. Because essentially, for your midfield, you just need someone better than Fred and McTominay. Now, I don't know how many of you United fans have seen that apparently Ollie wants to change his system. So he wants to go to a 4-3-3. Now, if he wants to do a 4-3-3, he's got to find someone to hold and do the dirty work. Now, Saul Niguez will do that. He'll happily do the dirty work in midfield. With, you assume, Pogba and Bruno sort of either side of him in the three, which, might I add, should scare a lot of teams, because that is quite a talent going forward. Only just 3 attacking players followed by Pogba and Bruno. Yeah, that should scare a fair few teams. And Saul Niguez will do the dirty work. Now, is he probably top of United? Probably not. By the sounds of it, top of their list is Declan Rice. So I think he can do a good job, and I think he will do a good job. It's a weird one. It is a weird one, and we'll just have to wait and see where this goes. But with Barcelona stalling, or the whole thing stalling with Barcelona, Atletico for the Griezmann Saul swap, it's a bit. Could it really leave the door open for United to come in and steal it? I don't know. Maybe it really depends on how big United are gonna come in. So yeah, Bryce. Oh yeah, Kenny. I've barely read what you've sent me. We need to reassess after this one. But yeah, real interesting talk here with Saul Niguez. Will it be done? What will happen? We'll have to wait and see, really. Some comments here. They conquered all of Europe. Yes, Argyle did. Fulham are the biggest club in London. Hamilton brought it home now. Hamilton is an attempted murderer. He is a murderer. He is nothing but a disgrace. He should never race in Formula 1 again. Sancho will receive bonuses if we win the league and or UCL. Looks like Sancho is getting 2 bonuses at the end of the season. Really? We need 2 midfielders if Pogba goes. No, Pogba's staying by the looks of it. I support Mazepin. He deserved the win. Disgrace. Wow. Wow, Dylan. Is your head hurt? Okay, what about Villa? They have a Champions League. Jesus Christ. Rice won Mobley. Oh, yeah, I've done that. Fight me. Why we think he is anyway. Mustafa Villa, they do. Well, Nottingham Forest, do they have 1 or 2? It's a very interesting question. Do they have one or two? And I just won the Champions League on FIFA with Argyle, so actually, DJ, I am Champions of Europe. Also, can I have my trophy back? But let's talk Harry Kane. Talk a little bit about this one, because Chelsea have done a bit of a madness. They're linked with all sorts of strikers. They've done a bit of a madness. A player plus cash swap deal has reportedly been discussed between Spurs and City. However, there are complications here. Gabriel Jesus, Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, Emerick Laporte, and Riyad Mahrez are potential swap options. These players are all on sizable salaries, and that Tottenham wouldn't want to match. There's a possibility that they simply do not want to leave City for Spurs. That's very fair comment. Is Greenwood in your Argyle team? Yes. So I have De Gea in goal, Brandon Williams right back, De Ligt, Maguire, Tierney, De Jong, Pogba, Sancho, Bruno, Mbappe, Greenwood. It's quite a good team, to be fair. But that's all City's players. Now, there's one player that is continuously talked about at Chelsea that needs to leave. Like right now. Like Tuchel wants to open the door, kick him out, and never have him come back. Wouldn't surprise me if he wants to slap him around a bit as well, because this guy has been shocked. Tuchel barely even played him. Didn't even make squads. So, I love the amount of United players now. I just couldn't be. I just thought who was best. Maguire though this summer, it's happening. Maguire's being sold. I'm no idea who I'm replacing him with. Probably De Jong actually. I have wanted to do that for quite some time. Argyle with $1 billion. Yes. So Tammy Abraham is suggested as a possible swap option, who makes far more sense in terms of affordability and personal requirements. His salary are less than that of the City stars, and he may be more willing to move, having lost his position as first-choice starter as after Thomas Tuchel's arrival. There is no confirmation of a solid approach from Chelsea yet, but somebody this structure of a deal could be more appealing to Levy than what City are willing to offer. Now, it's more appealing because the player in question is probably more willing to leave for Spurs. Tammy Abraham is not a good player, in my opinion. I don't really rate him. I think he's shit. I think Luke Jepcott is better than him. That's not to say he can't do a job at another club, but definitely not for Chelsea. Not for Argyle. We do not want Tammy Abraham. Now, do Tottenham need a striker if they lose Harry Kane? Well, obviously. Of course they do. They're definitely lacking in that area. So, what do you do? You find ideally plenty of money. So, I don't know how much Chelsea are willing to offer, but get a sizable amount of money plus Tammy Abraham. May swing Levy a bit more to want. Well, not wanting. I don't think he ever wants to sell Harry Kane, but it would. It would. No, you're so racist. Oh yes. I didn't realise that not rating someone of colour makes you racist. But I do rate Callum Hudson-Odoi, so fit that into your argument, Kenny, and swivel. Dylan says, no, you're lagging a bit. Yeah. It does what it does. But yeah, that's all on Man City and Harry Kane. Very simply, now Abraham's a good player. He's not though. Score Timo Werner. I could outscore Timo Werner. Can we stop using Timo Werner as like some sort of benchmark? His season last season, I could outscore that. I would also probably get you a fair few more free kicks. Well, I'll give away a lot of free kicks running into centre-backs. Let's talk Rafael Varane. Manchester United will make an official offer for Real Madrid to Real Madrid at the beginning of next week. The fee is expected to be around 60 million euros, £55 million. Varane will not continue at Real Madrid. He has agreed personal terms with Manchester United. Varane also asked Florentino Perez to ease his transfer to Manchester United. Rafael Varane is one step away from being a Manchester United player. United have convinced the player to join and have practically convinced Real Madrid two with an offer of around 55 million euros. Now, this deal is going to go in the next few days. We'll see how it should be accepted. Don't forget, Varane is currently on holiday and says he doesn't want to go back to Real Madrid to do pre-season training. He wants to go straight to United. Carrington to do the pre-season training with Manchester United. That is obviously going to want that. Ollie is definitely going to want that as well. Gives him more time with Raphael Varane. Don't forget, can Varane speak English? I have no idea. But Varane's going to have to get to know some of his new teammates. Pogba's probably going to be quite an important part in that. Obviously, both of them being French. So Pogba will probably be quite helpful to Raphael Varane. Sort of starting at Manchester United. He's going to need to build a partnership with Harry Maguire, all of this sort of stuff. So it's one of them that Raphael Varane to United will happen. It's just a matter of when, not if. You don't need to worry. He's not using United to get a better contract at Real Madrid. He's done with Real Madrid. He wants to leave. And he wants to join Manchester United. Manchester United have apparently convinced Raphael Varane that Old Trafford is the place to be next season. Now, I don't know if anyone else was in. There was talks of Chelsea were in. Maybe other teams are genuinely like, well, if United are in, they're just going to outbid us. And don't forget, United have wanted Varane for quite some time. It was when he was, I think it was about 5-6 years ago, United really wanted him. And he just didn't end up coming. And they were sort of admiring from a distance because they really like Varane. Now, Varane and the Maguire partnership is quite a formidable partnership, really. So we'll have to wait and see how this goes. I do expect that this will happen. I do expect it will happen quite quickly. And I think Varane will be a United player. And United this summer have signed Jadon Sancho and Raphael Varane. Not a bad start to summer transfer business. They can get in Trippier. They can get in a Declan Rice or a Saul Niguez. You probably have to give United 10 out of 10 for their transfer business this summer. And next week, when the individual shows come back, I'm sure United fans are going to be gassed. Really gassed. Really, really gassed. They're going to be loving it. Absolutely loving it. Some comments here. Odoi is Japanese. He's definitely not. He's definitely English. Varane, come on. Kenny, he's coming. Where you see Kenny. Best centre-back in the world is joining the best centre-back in the world. Varane over Thiago Silva. Big up F1 fan. And I want Camavinga. Or Camavinga. Odoi wants to join United, the biggest club in the world. I don't think he does. You've just signed Sancho. Varane is joining Manchester United. It will be official this week, according to Real Madrid Zone. Interesting one there. Very interesting one there. So as I said, it's going to happen probably sometime this week. He is on holiday, so get it as quickly as possible. Announcement will probably happen once he gets back from holidays. But the last one won't take too long. I've double-clicked that, so that's going to come off. All of it's going to come off now, I think. No? All is good. So the last one, Lokonga. Arsenal have signed Lokonga. The announcement is coming very shortly. That is according to Chris Wheatley. Obviously, central midfield. Arsenal definitely needed someone in that sort of zone. Lokonga is their man. They brought in Tavares and Lokonga. Ben White Ben White is all but announced. We haven't done our video yet because we're waiting for medicals. You never know. He could have both his legs chopped off by the time he does his medical, to which the signing won't go through. But, providing he's got both his legs and everything's all in good condition, Ben White will also be an Arsenal player. So Arsenal doing quite well as well. We've got really interesting Liverpool news coming up 10 p.m. tonight regarding captain of Liverpool. The captain of Liverpool, either 10 o'clock tonight or tomorrow at 3 p.m. Whenever the next show is. And now there is a Niall Onagal. He is Niall Ennis. Very good striker. We'll give them Dan James and 20 million. Yeah, no, you won't. Basuma, Saul, Bruno, Pogba, Sam. What? Okay, Mustafa, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that, because what you're doing is selling two really good attacking players for two one really defensive player and a Basuma. Makes no sense. It's like you don't want United to improve. To sell Bruno and Pogba, you're mad. You are mad. And I'm gonna say nothing else on that matter. What is, I will put the link into the chat now for you lot to come on and have your say. Ben White had made the biggest mistake of his career, though. He should have joined Villa. Yeah. Maybe. It's one of them. It is one of them, but I've put the link in the chat now so you lot can come on and have your say. Dylan says, Mustafa, you're a mug. That's a bit rude. That is very rude, actually, Velvishwan. Not Velvishwan, Dylan. All right, they just announced him 15 minutes ago. Lokonga is going to be wearing the number 23 jersey at Arsenal this summer. He's wearing the 23. In fact, we've got some words from Arteta. Albert is a very intelligent player who has shown great maturity in his performance. He has been coached well by Vincent Kompany and his team at Anderlecht. He talked so highly about Albert and the positive impact he had to Anderlecht in recent seasons. Lokonga will travel to Florida this week to take part in the Florida Cup. I don't know where that is. I know where Florida is. I don't know if it's with Arsenal. It must be with Arsenal. It must be. Lokonga said it's a big step. Have to be in the football world. You have to feel confident about yourself. I cannot wait to start. I can play as a 6. I can play as a box-to-box. But people say I'm better in the 6. So basically what they've done is they just signed a defensive central midfielder. You know, everything they've always needed. But let me get the lot in the back in. So we've got Kenny, Velvishwan, RJ, and someone from Doncaster.
We signed a Wonder
How are we all
Kid.
doing?
We signed a Wonder Kid.
I don't give a shit. Your club is so shit.
I mean, to be fair, you'll be joining them soon with the way your team's going.
I didn't hear what the hell Aaron was saying.
Oh, Jordan Henderson.
I've no idea.
Like your midfield is shattered.
Shut stuff. Fuck up, guys. I didn't hear what Aaron was. Right. I'm just, until these lot learn to have a mature conversation. There we go. Basically, I didn't hear what you were saying. What were you saying, Aaron? Do I need to shout at you for any reason?
No. I was just singing, we've signed a Wonder Kid. We've signed a Wonder Kid.
Oh, yes.
And I'm happy. I'm happy with it.
I was backing him. That's what I was saying. And then Velvishwan tries to, ruin on his parade. That's it, not having that.
We'll talk about that on the FL show. I presume that's on today. I've made a PowerPoint with logos. Well, I haven't made the PowerPoint yet. I'm making a PowerPoint with logos. Also, just briefly before we get back into the stories, do you fancy doing a League One? So what I was thinking is we do League One this week, League Two next week. So did you fancy doing a League One table prediction this week?
Oh,
I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah.
You are hardly going to say no.
No.
It was either that or I was just going to add it. I was going to add the screen in anyway and be like, look, we're doing it. But let's get back to some of these stories. RJ, we'll start with you. What do you want to talk about? Saul or Varane? Which one do you want to go for?
I mean, Saul is just it's funny overall, isn't it? This guy's been linked to us for 5 years, really. I mean, literally, it's not going to happen, lads. Look, and we don't need him. Like realistically, we don't need Saul to be in our team. Like I said, our team is just as good as it is. All we need is Varane, and we also need another center mid. That's more precisely a CDM, right? Who can get the job done. Now, look, I'm not going to say obviously, I would take Saul if it's passing around, but like I said, we need to focus on our main priorities. And if Saul's our main priority, we're in trouble for sure. Look, Varane, I think if I'm not mistaken, he'd be announced probably next week. I'd say if I'm not 100% sure. If I'm 100% sure, but regardless,
looks like the deal's gonna. Who's tapping?
that
would be probably Kenny, knowing him.
He's new this, Mike.
Right.
That's funny. Right.
Yeah, I it was just all I could hear was this tapping noise as RJ was talking. I was like,
yeah, fine.
Unless you lot want to start muting your mics with the amount of background noise, apart from Aaron, because he has no background noise, because he lives in a garage. I mean house. But no, do you not see Saul as if you can't get like a DM, do you get Niguez just in case?
We need a DM. That's the thing. The club knows that. All they know.
Yeah, but what if you can't get a DM? What if there's no DM that is?
I mean, that's when we wave our white flag saying we surrender. Because how the fuck are we going to play next season if we can't get a CDM? Like,
so the weird thing is, though,
you've just brought in Sancho and Varane. You finished second in the league last year. I'm sure you'll compete enough to get top 4 again, where you can look at DM next year.
Like, that's that thing. You know what I mean? There's no point literally just saying, "Oh yeah, it's just good enough just to do this and this." We have to move forward, and if we're going to do that, then fuck it. Bring in the right talent. Like I said, I want to challenge for trophies. I don't know about some United fans who probably think Ole is the reason why we're not getting trophies. Newsflash. It's because we don't have a CDM. That's one of the reasons why Pogba does not play well for United. He is Kante on France. Kante does all the defensive work. Pogba says, Kante's got that shit.
You can't just blame it on the DM. You have to give Lindelof a good fair bit of blame as well. He's got the movement of a dumpster truck, and he's got the strength of a twig.
And also, Maguire made a few mistakes at the start of the season, like the goals he conceded against Spurs.
Well, yeah, but Maguire also did have a howling summer where he was accused of, I don't know what he was accused of.
He had
all of that shit.
What I'll add to RJ's point about the CDM is, I've seen United fans saying, well, if we don't get a CDM, just give James Garner first team appearance. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute. He needs at least one more loan because he's not ready for the Premier League.
Nowhere near ready.
He is ready. Hold on. He is ready for the Premier League. He just needs... No, 1 minute. Let me finish my fucking point before you go. Okay, he's not ready. He fucking needs to go to a Premier League because he needs to play in the Premier League because he blew up the Championship. Like, there was no other team could handle James Garner in the Championship. He was an absolute machine. So he does need to go to the Premier League, but he needs to go to Brighton or Newcastle or someone sort of in that area because that's the sort of level he needs to be at. He needs Premier League exposure. Anyone saying he doesn't need Premier League exposure either didn't watch the Championship last year or doesn't understand football, one of the two. Please go get the questionnaire, fill out your thoughts and tick which box you are. Or you think he needs to go to a Brighton and ball. But no. I mean, I don't think your season's over and get a DM. I mean, you have got Matic. I know he ain't got much.
Like I said, no, what I'm saying is, like, I think United fans, we want to challenge for the league this season. I think it's our best chance now, right? We signed the right winger, we signed the centre back. Well, arguably, the only thing we need left for us to be complete. What do you mean we got Ollie? Ollie's on us. What do you mean by that?
Well, he's about as. Let's hope you don't need to make a substitution in the 60th minute because I don't think Ollie knows how to make a substitution before 70 minutes.
He'd be grand. Look, we came back pretty much every single game last season. We've literally come back from something, right? And it'll probably happen again this season. But look,
because coming back from losing sort of continuously is really, really helpful to winning league titles. I mean, that is exactly how Fergie used to do it.
I obviously understood that. I do not want that, but regardless, that's how we were last season. And look, maybe we'll do well this season. Look, the final thing I will say is, and then we can move on to someone else. I mean, Valve is laughing. I mean, I don't know why you're laughing, mate. Your team's crumbling.
I don't know why Valshwan is laughing because once I start working out what once I start working, once I start working out what Liverpool are doing, apart from pissing off half their fan base and signing in one centre back. Also, I think Joe Gomez is injured again, so heads up. Which is
it's happened again. No,
he's literally in training.
Oh, is Van Dijk in training?
Yeah, well,
Van Dijk is back.
That's
All of our centre backs are back,
apart from Gomez.
No, Gomez is back.
Apparently Gomez had an injury setback.
No, that's not. He's restricted from doing certain things, but he's back. He's training with the.
Well, he's not. If he's if he's restricted, then he can hardly play a game. Then, which means he's not back. So, thank you. But no, we're not here to talk about Liverpool. I mean, they've done no. The reason why Liverpool aren't covered is because Liverpool are doing no business. It looks like Harvey Elliott is going to be your backup to Salah, which good luck for January when Salah and Mane
to be
go
fair,
to the
Harvey
African
Elliott's
Cup
Harvey Elliott's a decent youngster, so if they can get him firing, then maybe he could have a good breakthrough season. But I wouldn't say it's the best option in the world.
So
it's too early.
Everyone goes on about Ghana can't play Premier League because he ain't blah 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 blah. Yeah, we're now going to say, but Harvey Elliott, he could do a job. He could do a job. That's ridiculous. Harvey Elliott cannot do a job. Harvey Elliott could not do a Liverpool job. He needs to go to, again, a Brighton on loan and get some Premier League exposure. The same with Ghana, the same with Pellistri, the same with all of them. In fact, you really need to loan Pellistri out to a Premier League club, else he's never going to play for Manchester United. Reece says Gomez is fine. In the know said it was a setback, but Klopp said he's fine. I don't know if I trust Klopp yet. I mean, he was quite dodgy last.
What do you mean you don't trust Klopp? He's the one who handles injuries perfectly.
Mate, your club.
You say that, but how many? Hold on. I'm not even going to dignify that one with the response. Let's move on. Kenny, we'll go to you next. Talk to me. What do you want to talk to me about?
Well, I've already said a lot about Varane, so I want to talk about Kane to Chelsea instead.
Go for it.
Who? Who's going to Chelsea?
Harry Kane to Chelsea.
Come on, here, lads.
Oh no.
Have you not?
No, you haven't.
If you paid it, well, you never know. There is madness behind it.
I mean,
maybe he's a fraud.
Kenny, carry on.
Maybe he's a fraud.
Well, the thing is with Chelsea is that the reason that because I was one of the ones that said that I thought Kane would go to Chelsea at the start of the window, like at the very start. Well, not the very beginning, but because what I thought is that I didn't think they'd be able to get Haaland because I thought Sancho was going to Man United and I was right, and I thought that those talks would break down, and they have basically just been broken down at this point. He's not going to Chelsea. It's basically done. That deal. It's basically done, as in he's not going. So of course, I think Kane will go to Chelsea because I think Chelsea will just be really. I think Chelsea will get really desperate towards like this point of the window. Like they've missed out on Haaland, which was great. It's supposed to be amazing signing, but now they're going for a load of strikers. They're going for Danny Ings, Lewandowski, Harry Kane. They're getting, and then I don't think they'll get either Lewandowski or Ings. Lewandowski won't want to go to the Prem. Ings, I think, will go to someone else, maybe a Man City. So I think Kane will be the one. I think they will get him because they'll be desperate. And if they get him, then I think that's Chelsea probably winning the league because Harry Kane, for example, Chelsea last season. They could have got a much better season. They could have had a much better season if they could finish. Of course, I think you'll know too how many chances they bloody missed that season. Timo Werner is a criminal, and I think if you add that, Kane probably 25 goals. Let's say you add 25 goals to that Chelsea side, and it's definitely at least contention to finish top 2, if not first. So if he does go, which I think he will, I think Chelsea will definitely win the Premier League. I think because the thing is with Kane is that you're replacing our Timo Werner, who's just missed a load of chances. misses about 300 big chances. Probably wants to move to Doncaster Rovers. Probably fits that level. Yeah, and then you've replaced that with a Kane who's very, very clinical. And without Kane, Tottenham are gonna be absolutely atrocious. And because Kane, I think he got top scorer and top assister last season, if I am correct. So he's added that creativity to his game as well. That's even better for Chelsea. They're getting two for the price of one.
Which Thomas Tuchel will not want him employing. Thomas Tuchel wants an out-and-out striker. Therefore, if Harry Kane starts dropping deep, Tuchel is going to smack him in the face with a brick. Because Tuchel ain't going to be as lenient as Southgate. Because Chelsea have got creators. They've got Pulisic, they've got Mount, they've got Havertz, they've got Cho, they've got Ziyech, they've got fucking Werner play on the wing who does create chances. So they won't want him dropping deep. Any sense of him dropping deep, Tuchel's going to absolutely smack him brutally.
Yeah, I meant yeah, of course, it probably won't be used that much for his creativity. I
was just about to say, it's pointless bringing it up because Tuchel's not going to want that in his squad. He's already got enough creators. That was part of their problem last season. They've got creators. They haven't got anyone to put the balls in the back of the net.
Mm-hmm.
That is their problem. It won't be up to Harry Kane. It won't be up to Harry Kane. It'll be up to Tuchel.
And he is one of the best strikers in the world. That is the last thing I'll say.
He does go missing in a lot of big games, but you know.
I'm not
Zachary says.
Okay.
No.
I do you know what, Valvishwan? Luckily for you, you're not allowed to jump in that one because he does miss in a lot of big games.
But it's a team performance.
Yeah, but he Valvishwan, have you ever said Bruno goes missing in big matches?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So shut up. So DJ, we'll go to you next. What do you want to?
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about, mate?
No, just hearing what Kenny was saying about Harry Kane. That deal was never going to happen to Chelsea. Tottenham will never sell to Chelsea, first of all, and I think the other thing also is, as much as I would love Harry Kane at Chelsea, it will never happen. But listen, the only striker we seem to be going for, and the only one that seems to be mentioned at this moment is Erling Haaland. All this other talk of Lewandowski. Obviously, Harry Kane's just been said there. This is just all speculation. I think the main one we really want to go for is Erling Haaland, and I think if you look at all the noises that are slightly coming out of tier one journalists and around, it's all about really Erling Haaland. And now that Roman Abramovich has actually got involved with this as well, I think he wants him as well at Chelsea. I think Thomas Tuchel wants him at Chelsea. I think he's our main priority. If we don't get him, I can't see us realistically getting anybody in. I think it's just probably going to be stick with what we've got. There's talk of Danny Ings, I've heard as well. Again, I think that's just rumours as well. For me, it's just going to be sticking with what we've got. And I think Tammy Abraham may just be given the opportunity that there's also the opportunity that obviously the opportunity there to see what he can do next season. Obviously, Broja has just also signed a new 5-year extension to his contract as well. These are all youngsters, I get that. I do know we need a prolific goal scorer. But I think next season we can score goals. I mean, we're not just about, obviously, goals. I mean, goals coming from strikers. We can score goals from literally, if those players get themselves all sorted out next season, I can see goals coming from all over the pitch next season for us. I really can. We just, at this moment in time, we just seem to be quiet on the transfer front. But Chelsea, it's always one of them things. It's quiet, and then all of a sudden things just come up. They just speed up, and I'm still not giving up on Haaland. I still think we still can get him. It's just taking longer than expected. That's all.
Yeah, I think a lot of Chelsea fans were naive and and dare I say childlike with this deal, thinking, Erling Haaland, piece of piss, just pay the money, put it on the table, jobs are good, and we've got Haaland. Yeah. It was never going to work like that. It was never, ever going to work like that. If you ever thought that, I suggest you never talk about another transfer again because you are simply an idiot. It was always going to be one of these very long, drawn-out processes. It's nothing like Havertz. With Havertz, there was not really anyone else that could financially afford him. You had a lot of cash. Obviously, you had the transfer ban, blah, blah, blah. You had a lot of spare cash that you could just chuck. I can't remember. Was it 83, 93 million on Havertz? And just get that done.
Like that. Yeah, 75.
So 75. So you had that money just burning in the back pocket, per se, to get Havertz. So this is nothing like the Havertz deal. This deal reminds me a lot of Sancho last summer, which is it is very different though, because last year Dortmund they put the figure out there. They said, give us this much by this time and you can have him. United therefore didn't get him. Now the interesting bit is with obviously what was I saying? With Haaland, of Haaland, they've not done any of that. They've not put a deadline on. They've not really put a fee on. The fee is widely reported by a lot of people to be, 150 million pounds, 175 million euros. So with that's what's coming from like top tier in the nose. That's not been set by Dortmund. Dortmund have not set a price. They've not set a time phrase. Timeline for it. So it reminds me of the Sancho deal, but it's not the Sancho deal because of just everything going on with it. But it's certainly going to be one that is probably going to drag on quite some time. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? If you do get him, you've got someone who is also unproven in the Premier League, so you do need to bear that in mind. A youngster who teams are just going to man mark him out of the game. Now, it's going to be up to... Now, obviously, there's two ways of this. Teams will man mark him out of the game. It's now down to Haaland to prove his worth and his ability to unmark himself out of the game. A lot like a Rooney, a lot like a Drogba, who you would have a man put on them, but they would somehow just escape from that man and wander off somewhere and go score a goal. So... if you do get Haaland, Chelsea fans again need to be patient because he's never faced the Premier League. And what did Havertz and Werner say last year? Didn't expect the Premier League to be like it was.
Yeah.
I think Sancho is different because Sancho's been through the England youth. So because he's played the youth academies, he knows what it's about. He obviously plays for England as well. So people need to err on the side of caution with Haaland, but he would obviously turn out to be a huge signing. Big up Niles says, Charlie, plus Chelsea don't play fast attacking football, so it wouldn't suit Haaland. Yeah, he's going to need to adapt, isn't he? But that's why Chelsea are spending £150 million, because their top players are adaptable. You look at a Rooney or a Drogba or an Henry, they could adapt their game to what was needed. That's what's required. So there's a lot about Haaland that he's going to need to work on and to do. And Chelsea fans just need to calm it down. I wouldn't necessarily say they've won the league just getting Haaland. They are going to need everyone else to turn up as well, because Chelsea are by no means a one-man team. Ironically, like any team's not a one-man band, apart from Liverpool, which is Salah FC. Velshwan, what do you want to talk about?
I'll go with Hudson Odoi to buy him.
Go for it.
Yeah, because I heard reports about something about Cho and is it Kingsley Coman and a swap deal?
Yeah, so swap deal with Cho and Coman.
That's never going to happen. Like Chelsea won't get rid of Cho just to bring in an injury-prone player from Bayern. Like all they need is just a fit winger.
Hold up. You've been saying he's quality. Liverpool should get him. Blah blah blah. He's not injury. No. You never said he was injury prone. You said he's had some injury. No. You said he had some injuries, but you'll be able to manage it.
No. That was flipping the Konate. I said his injury record is a myth. And if he was on the French player, I was talking about Nabil Fekir, who's not injury prone. That's why I said, not Kingsley Coman.
Carry on.
I swear, Kingsley Coman's injury prone. He's not going to go Chelsea. They're never going to say it. I do agree that Cho needs to leave Chelsea for the sake of his own career, but Bayern won't be the place for him because of Serge Gnabry and Leroy Sané. I feel like if Leroy Sané never joined, then Cho would have been there.
Do you think maybe Dortmund might be a good shout for him?
I think Dortmund will be Dortmund
just
will
lost
be a good
Sancho.
I think Dortmund will be a good shout because that means it actually depends because Cho said he always wants to play as a left winger. Like he always wants to play in the left side. Will he probably get ahead of Gio Reyna at Dortmund? I don't think so. Possibly because Dortmund do a lot of rotation, so he might get game time, but he won't be a guaranteed starter.
Could move Reyna to the right or Cho to the right. I mean, these players, do you know, it's admirable because I said the same thing about Maitland-Niles. You can want to play central midfield all you fucking like. If no one wants to play you in central midfield, you're clearly lacking something your eyes cannot see. Therefore, do the right thing, which is play where you're bloody told. It's a madness when this player wants to play here. It's like, well, no, ironically, the manager will pick where he plays and the player will just play where he's told. Does anyone disagree with that?
No. I mean, it depends if what we have seen of you. Like, DJ said you're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
So have you seen Cho play on the left, and has he been good on the left?
He has been excellent on the left, and I think going back to what you were just saying, Velvishwan, about Cho needs to leave for the sake of his career. For me, I think what we've got to remember is next season we're playing in 6 competitions next season. We're going to need our squad around us. This is one of the reasons why I cannot see Cho going. I think he will get more game time next season. 6 games.
6.
Yeah, we're playing Club World Cup. We're playing the Super Cup, FA Cup, Carling Cup, Champions League.
You're not classing the Super Cup. Surely that's one. That's a one-off game.
No, but it still comes under. What I'm just saying, it still comes under what I'm trying to say. It's still 6 games. That's what I'm trying to say to you. 6. That's what I'm trying to say by that, bro. That's it. We need our squad in that way, and I think if at the moment, as you can see, we don't seem to be signing anybody. I still think next season, you're not going to see the same formation. Tuchel's going to be playing next season. He's going to be changing up quite a lot next season, and he'll obviously change formation to whatever game suits him, to whatever the opposition is going to be. He'll just match either the opposition. He'll play something totally different. So for me, I can see us keeping Cho. I don't think Cho will personally go. For me, there are other players in that squad that need to go. The Deadwood, but not really players that are actually on the caps or on the verge or actually are part of the first team. So for me, it'll be silly for us to let him go. And it seems to be the same thing every season with Callum Hudson-Odoi. For the past 4 seasons, every summer seems to come over. He seems to always be linked with a move away from Chelsea, and it never materialises. And I can't see, for one, Tuchel does like him. People go around saying that Tuchel doesn't fancy him. I personally think he does. He's actually even said to him before, I think before the Champions League final, that he's very much going to be in his plans for this season or next season, meaning the new season coming up. And I can see him staying on. I just think we just need to add a bit of quality, a bit more place to our team. But as a Chelsea fan as I am, I'm being patient. And I'm just saying for most other Chelsea fans to be the same thing. I think we will be good next season.
Do you think it was more based on Tuchel trying to work out what he's going to do with Cho instead of him not rating Cho? Because the formation he played last season, it did appear that the formation was just get us through this season, see what happens, and God knows what. We'll reassess in the summer. Do you think it's more that, or no. What's your thoughts on it?
I think for me, obviously when Thomas Tuchel came in, he obviously knew what his goals had to be. His goals were to obviously get us into the top 4, and if we can win a competition, that would be a bonus. He managed to, people will say, through Tottenham, and it's true, Tottenham were the ones that won their game that got us to that 4th spot. But we did go on to win the Champions League with the formation he played. Let's not be honest, we beat Manchester City 3 times last season. That's no easy thing to do. So for me, I mean, he knows what he's doing, and I think next season you'll see him chop and change again next season. This is one of the reasons why I'm not worried. I mean, we do need players that all other teams do. If we don't get the players that we want in, I still think we're still up. We can still challenge next season, but it's going to be tougher with the competitions that we're in. It'll be tougher, but we'll still be amongst the top four, I think, next season, possibly again winning something.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Aaron, what do you want to talk about, mate?
The possibility of Van der Beek leaving. I mean, I saw that on the title and I was like, really?
That's not in the title. That's not in the title. The topics are Hudson Odoi to Bayern Munich, Saul Niguez to United, Kane Chelsea, Varane United, Arsenal signing Lokonga.
Yeah,
also big up to Wolf in the chat.
Lokonga, that's in it. And to be honest with you, my brain's probably still not working because I stayed up this morning to watch Money in the Bank and then woke up at 2 p.m. So my brain's still trying to wake up. But
Money in the Bank was shit.
It was brilliant. C Nation and all that.
Yeah, it was. I saw that.
I think, well, first of all, on Arsenal with Lokonga, I'm just going to say this right, and I'll put it in the private chat. I haven't said this in a while, but breaking news update. Basically, Eduardo Hagen's confirmed that Xhaka will sign for Roma in the next few days. We already knew that, but it's been confirmed he will sign in the next few days. So that'll be confirmed in a few days. But Lokonga, I think that for the future and the here and now, I think that is a real good signing for the future of Arsenal. I think it's a small step in the right direction. I know I banter Arsenal all the time on this channel, but I think it's a small step in the right direction for that midfield. I would like it though if Arsenal made signings specifically for the here and now, experienced signings. Now, obviously, they're going to bring in Ben White. They brought in Tavares, who's a kid. They brought in Lokonga, who's a kid. I want to see him now make more experienced signings because the position that Arsenal are in right now, I don't even think the owners care about what position the club's in right now because the club right now are out of Europe for the first time in a few decades. They're playing just the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Premier League. That's it. There's no European football at all. So they need to bring in some experience and some proper good signings with experience.
Do you think that because they're not in Europe, that's why they're not going for experience? Because let's be real, what experienced players are going to Arsenal right now?
Well, apart from Willian staying and signing another contract.
You're joking. Does that happen?
No. I think Willian's still on the transfer list, but the fact that he played against,
I swear, my heart just skipped a beat. My heart. Ross Barkley played for Chelsea against whoever they were playing, so I wouldn't bear that in mind.
Peterborough.
Oh, yeah,
that's the team. I mean, Lingard played against Derby, so I mean.
Well, no, but
just because they played in pre-season don't mean they're staying. No, don't fall for that. Please don't fall for that, Aaron. He said the same thing about Chris Smalling. He said the same thing about Rojo. He said the same thing about Alexis Sanchez, and they were all chucked out of the door just because it's a negotiation tactic. The last thing, if the manager turns around and says, not in my plans, you reduce their fee straight away. There's other clubs will be like, oh, they're not going to use him, so what's the problem? Don't need to pay too much money. Whereas if Ollie goes, oh no, I'm thinking of using him, you're still going to have to pay good money to try and get him out of there. So it's a negotiation tactic. Please don't ever fall for them.
And it's not falling. It's just weird because I saw Sky Sports say that Lingard's part of United's plans going to the new season.
Of course they did.
Solskjaer.
Of course they did, because that. Yeah, because Solskjaer did say that, but it's a negotiation tactic on behalf of Solskjaer. Basically saying, yeah, Lingard is someone that's in my plans, and then a couple of weeks later, oh shit, Lingard's just been sold. Did it with Alexis Sanchez and Smalling. It's just
situations can change. I think at this current moment, Romano has said that he's told. I've got his name here. Laurie Whitewell, who's a obviously a journalist for The Athletic, obviously he's told him, and Romano's quoted it, that Lingard wants to fight for his place. But obviously the situation can change.
I've read other places Lingard wants to leave. But I don't know. There's going to be so many
it's
stories.
It's going to be a weird one. It's going to be a weird situation. But yeah, with Arsenal and Lokonga, like I said, I just want to see experienced signings now, because yes, I know that when you're out of Europe, you're not exactly going to be the biggest push target, but it shows how far the owners have dragged that club over the last 15 years. They've dragged them from winning Premier League titles to now finishing in 8th place and not being in Europe anymore. I mean, what is Arsenal the next Newcastle? I mean, it's just unbelievable how far the club's fallen right now, and I feel so sad for them, because, well, I feel sorry for the fans and the players and the manager, not the owners.
Leeds, not Newcastle. I think Leeds were more bigger.
Well, take away the administration, and Arsenal are pretty much the situation that Leeds United did in 2003. It was pretty much how far the club's fallen. And I worry for Arsenal's future if they can't get back into Europe. And obviously, like I said, I feel sorry for the manager, but at this current stage, I don't feel like Arteta could be the right man to take the club forward. So, you know, I do worry for Arsenal. But in terms of a future signing, it's a good buy for Arsenal. It's a good buy for that midfield overall. But for the future, it's great. For the here and now, it'll be back up. But at the same time, who else have they got in that midfield? Xhaka's going, Elneny's staying, Ceballos is gone, Odegaard's gone. Saka can alternate in that cam position. It's a weird one for me. It's a really weird one for me.
You want to put Saka in the cam?
No, I don't want to put Saka at cam, but I'm saying he can play there.
No, he cannot. He's
only played like once or twice there.
That's what I mean. It's once or twice, but he can play there if push comes to shoving. It's a last resort. But
last resort if you've used every other C8 cam in your club. But
that's what I mean. It's a last resort. But I mean, hang on, just while I'm here, right? I want to have a look at Arsenal centre midfielders right now, because I'll say this right now. It is.
We've named them.
It is not a lot. So
you've just named
midfielders. They've got Partey, Torreira, Maitland-Niles, Lokonga, Elneny, Willock, Smith Rowe. That's it. Xhaka's gone. Maitland-Niles will probably get loaned out or kept because they've got no midfielders. Torreira will probably get sold. So take away Torreira and maybe Maitland-Niles and Xhaka.
Could be sold as well.
In terms of, and take away the cams as well. Take away Smith Rowe and Willock. You've only got Elneny, Lokonga, and Partey. That's 3. So they're going to have to either bring in some, or knowing the owners, they'll force the academy to push through a couple of players. So because they don't want to buy a new midfielder. So I worry for Arsenal. I really, really do, because they haven't got the depth that they need. I mean, look. I mean, take our clubs for example. Now when we need depth, we bring in the right amount of players, whether it's a loan player for a season or it's a free agent or someone out of contract. We bring in depth. We've got depth.
Talk for yourself. We go to our youth academy because we've decided that's the most. The best way. So,
you guys got some great.
Doncaster may go for loans, but I keep saying our goal.
We've brought two loans in now, obviously today, but we've only brought 2 in today. 2 in. Rest of them are permanent. So we've also got the academy to think about as well, with Greaves pushing through, etc. So I'm just saying that we've got depth in our positions, which and to that extent, for depth. In terms of depth and bringing in the right numbers, us and Plymouth are doing better than the Gunners because they haven't got depth. And that is exactly what they need, because you can't do a Liverpool last season and risk your best players and that's it, and not having hardly any backup that's as good as the first team.
That's what Liverpool are doing again this season.
Exactly. Liverpool are in a dangerous position. Sorry, Velvishwan, but I'm telling the truth. Liverpool are in a dangerous position.
No, I've accepted we ain't signing anyone.
Yeah, FSG out. That should be the message right now. And Kroenke out, FSG out. And the Glazers can't take any credit for the signings at United. They should be going as well.
Hold up. You can't say that. So
Darren Fletcher and John Mercer are the reason behind these transfers, not the Glazers.
What do they control the finances of Manchester United now?
No, the Glazers don't do shit.
Exactly. Well, no, right. So who's put the money for these transfers?
Well, clearly the Glazers have given all your transfer.
Right. So, yes, the Glazers in the past have been horrific. They've been shocking. But a leopard can change his spots. They could finally be listening to their fans. Now, I'm not saying bend over, put a firework up your ass, and start singing Glazers in or shit like that. But surely they need. If it looks like they're not going to go, so is it not worth maybe just saying, look, we'll see. We'll give them one more time. They might have changed. They might have realised, look, how we ran last time was not efficient and we weren't good enough. We need to do this differently. So maybe with the Glazers, maybe with the Glazers, you need to just hang fire for a second and see what they're going to do.
It's just based on past experience with the Glazers. I have this feeling that they're only doing it this season because they want to get back into the fans' good books.
They may well do. And if they do that,
if they don't win any silverware, then next season if they get back into fans' good books, they won't back the manager next season, which means they'll start going again.
Right, that is precisely what I'm saying. So if the Glazers do the same shit again, right, and they don't invest in the club and they don't do all the stuff that they need to do, right, then absolutely they need to leave. But you need to give them, especially if they do the business this summer. Let's say they do a business this summer and they do a business next summer, then maybe you've got a question. Actually, maybe they are doing the right things. Maybe it is
if they do business for the next couple of years and they win at least one Premier League and get to at least the final of the Champions League.
The winning isn't down to Glazers. If Ollie doesn't do a good enough job, he needs to be sacked. You can't blame. If United don't win a Premier League, it's not down to United. It's not down to them.
Oh, no.
It's not down to the Glazers.
If Ollie doesn't get removed, if they don't win anything, if Ollie doesn't get removed,
that's their fault.
Mentality.
That's their fault. But you can't just blame the Glazers for not winning shit.
No, of course not. That's down to management. But back to Arsenal, it's clear that the owner does not care. It's so clear that the owner doesn't care. Because if they cared, they would have invested in the squad to get them back into the top 4, let alone top 5, top 6. Whether that's bringing in the right caliber of player. I'm hearing reports they're going to bring in Aouar and spend £100 million this summer. Are they bollocks? They do not care. It's a PR spin. It's not happening. Aouar's either going to stay or go somewhere else. Because
so if it does happen, are you going to apologise to Conke's live on stream?
No, because they don't deserve anything.
Well, no, okay, you just said it's not happening, it's bullshit PR spin, but if they spend 100 million...
If it don't happen, I'll say fair play, but I'm still Kroenke out.
Yeah, you can be Kroenke out all you like, but at the end of the day, if they do precisely what you just said they're not going to do, then you owe them an apology.
Yeah, I will say fair play, but I'll still say Kroenke out. But overall for Arsenal, they need to be signing more experience, otherwise it's just going to be another 8th place finish. And probably even worse, maybe even worse.
Yeah, look, I'm not disagreeing. Arsenal need to do a lot of business, but fuck knows what Arsenal are going to do. We'll have to wait and see if they do get
Tottenham. At least not Tottenham.
Well, Tottenham have got more issues than you care to imagine. Not enough issues for us to cover ever. But we are going to wrap it up there. We'll be back. I don't know if we'll be back at 10. I have absolutely no idea because we've got the EFL show later. So it really depends on that. We'll be back either at 10 or at 3 p.m. tomorrow with more transfer talk. Don't forget at 6:30 to check out me, Aaron, hopefully Charlie on the EFL show on the First XI, talking all things League One this week and doing our League One predictions before we go and do League Two next week, which I think leaves us 1 week out after the start of the season. which could be the perfect time. So we're gonna start doing our predictions and all that for the individual leagues. So make sure you check us out there. But before you go, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Check out socials, Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, Instagram, Let's Talk EPL _ TikTok, Let's Talk Premier League. Kenny, where can they find you?
You can find me at Sancho is here, Let's Talk EPL, Kenny TV on YouTube, and Kenny the United fan on Twitch.
Perfect. Aaron?
You can find me all over social media. I'm sure you'll probably see my face somewhere. I also want to say best wishes to Mick Hartford from Luton Town, who's currently fighting prostate cancer. Best of luck in your recovery. Really happy with my club signing the Watford Academy Wonder kid, Thiago Cucur. I think that's how it's pronounced, Cucur, the striker. Very highly rated by Watford fans, and they're really pissed about letting him go. So, fair play. If we've got Watford fans saying we're a fool for letting him go, then fair play. We've got ourselves a goal scorer.
Is it on loan or?
It's a season-long loan, because Watford fans do feel like he can push for the first team. But apparently, according to Watford fans, we've got ourselves a 20-plus goal scorer. We haven't had that since John Marquis. So I'm very excited to see how he does, and hopefully we'll see the first of him hopefully tomorrow against Wakefield at friendly before Steve Bruce FC gets torn apart on Friday. So fingers crossed.
If you lose to Newcastle, the shit you said about Boosie is going to come back and bite you fat on the arms.
We'll see what happens. But I'll be at the Keepmoat Stadium on Friday, so we'll see what happens. But all in all, good week for Rovers. Let's see what happens. Rovers till I die. Thank you very much.
DJ, where can they find you, mate?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, DJSavJ17 at DJSavJ. You can find me on other platforms, Baggy TV and Green Turf live streams. Obviously, I come on here as well with you guys. And I'm going back to what Donny said about Mick Harford. Yeah, big up to him. Good luck to him fighting that prostate cancer. And thanks for having us on your show as always.
Not a problem, mate. Also, I think Michael Appleton is also going through cancer as well, so hopefully he has speedy recovery. I think he's got testicular cancer. So obviously, I'm sure we'll talk about that in the show tonight. But Velvishwan, where can they find you, mate?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, at Vel_skills, and fuck FSG, those stupid bastards.
How a year can change.
You heard it here first. Velvishwan is FSG in, but until next time, thanks for watching, guys. Velvishwan's FSG in. Bye, guys.
Take care. Peace out.